Hi, we're at 96 Rangoon Road, Branches Cafe. This is very near to Mustafa Shopping Centre and City Square Mall. To get here, it only takes 3 to 5 minutes walk from Farrer Park MRT Exit B. This is our first time doing outdoor video shooting and I'm so excited.
Yes, Kay, we have not done this before and it's really refreshing to be finally outdoors doing our video shoot. Okay, what's so special about this place?
First of all, they serve very nice Western fusion food. They have all-day breakfast menu and they're very popular for their high tea set. They also serve granola parfaits and few eggs dishes. More importantly, they are very Instagram-worthy and wallet-friendly too.
Yes, I've also googled about them and noticed that they have a vintage Mini Cooper in their cafe, which also serves as a 4-seater for its guests. I'm so gonna take a lot of pictures later.
I know you like vintage toys, so they sell a lot of vintage toys such as lunch boxes, phones, and many others in the cafe. That's why this is my usual hangout place. And there is one more reason why we are here today, and we'll reveal more in the later part of the video. Let's go in now. Hi, we are now at Branches Cafe. Elena, just now you were asking why are we here today, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Actually, our client works here. The head chef is our client and we help him with his PR application.
Oh really? I thought you brought me here just because it's your usual hangout place.
Yes, this is one of my favorite places, but I also wanted to visit our client. Do you know that the boss is very nice that he actually paid for the service fee for the PR application?
Really? That's like the dream employer for most of the expats out there. Not only the company is supportive of their PR application, but also willing to sponsor the application fees.
Well, this is because he wants to retain the head chef very badly, not just because of the culinary skills, but they have developed a strong relationship after working together for many years. Cedric is our client and he's also from Malaysia, 我的同胞. He's holding onto an S-Pass and he has been working in Singapore for quite some time. He previously applied for PR himself and failed. Cedric is not really good with documentation, so his boss TK has helped him a lot in the documentation, and of course with our help, it was a smooth application process.
That's great to know. How do they get to know about the immigration people?
Well, apparently they Google us, and in the process, they did inquire with other immigration firms too.
I see. So are we going to meet them later?
Yes, we will. So Cedric is quite shy, so TK will be joining us too. But now they're busy in the kitchen because it's peak hour. Now, let's look at the wide range of the food that we have today. Let's dig in while waiting for them.
Of course. Wow, look at the exquisite high tea set. Maybe I should pick one. That's my favorite. Okay, let me try this. This looks good.
How is it?
Let me try one more bite. The pastry cream is really light and it's not too overly sweet, so you don't really get tired after eating a few more times. And the texture is really crusty as well, so I really like it.
Look at this. There's so many seafood and they're so generous, you know. The spaghetti tastes really good too.
Okay, let me try this. Really tasty, very well seasoned. It's not too salty and the seafood is really fresh.
I'm trying the salmon steak. I like how crispy the skin is. I think it's truffle fry.
I can smell the truffle oil from here. Very crispy and fluffy in the inside.
I'm gonna try this. I think this is a tuna tartar salad. Really good. Yeah, it's like very fresh. It's like you just got the fish from the sea.
From the market.
I'm gonna try the chocolate cake. Wow. It's so rich. By the way, Elena, do you know that they have their own bakery and every day they bake their fresh pastry and bread?
No wonder their stuff tastes so fresh. By the way, how much is the average price here like?
Average cost is about 20 plus per pax. It's not too expensive. Yeah, it's really worth the money. Oh, they're here. Hi.
Hi, TK. Hi, Cedric.
Hi, Cedric. I really like your cafe.
Thank
it's
you very
very
much.
well decorated.
Yes.
Yeah, so thank you for hosting us again and thanks for the wonderful food. So I have some questions for you
Sure.
if you don't mind. So why did you decided to set up a cafe?
Okay, and I always wanted to have a cafe, a place where it's cozy, relaxing atmosphere, where people come in, friends, families members, gather together, have a nice food, good service, and what is more important, they really enjoy being part of the cafe.
How long has this cafe been around?
Oh, we started the branches in 2015. Today is our 6th anniversary, so it's just been a while for 6 years, last 6 years.
Congrats.
Thank you very much.
So is it very difficult to get workers in the F&B industry?
Okay, I think this is a problem for all F&B player in the market. So instead of looking for people, our strategy here is to keep the good staff. That is where the purpose of getting you all involved is to get our chef, the good staff that is actually a Malaysian, to apply PR and to make sure that we retain them and continue with the business rather than looking for staff outside. Yeah.
That's a really very good strategy. So I understand that you Google us and you did inquire with other immigration firms too. So what makes you choose the immigration people as your final choice?
All right, and to be honest, the immigration people wasn't the first. I've approached many, but it took a while. I spoke to your people from the immigration people. I'm very impressed because they are not hard selling. They do not pressure me to sign off. And they are very honest because there's nothing that's guaranteed, and this is what they put up front. That is where, after speaking to the immigration people, I decided that I want to go with you, and regardless of the outcome of this PR application.
Hi Sergey，再次恭喜你顺利的提交了你的 PR 申请。你要不要跟我们的观众大致上的分享一下你跟我们团队合作的申请过程如何呢？
之前自己申请的时候非常的困难。然后接触到你们的团队，我发现很简单了。你们的团队很仔细，然后人也很友善，也帮我添加了很多增加剧拿到PR的机会。
哦，对，谢谢你的夸奖。对，而且我们的团队呢，通常会建议客户呢如何去添加一些附加文件，来加持他们的申请记录。因为有时候呢，如果只是单调的提交那些基本文件，会不足以让政府看到你的好的条件啊，还有你的贡献。
对，就我也是觉得这次的机会应该是蛮高的。
对，我们有很高的希望哦。对，还有师弟，如果你拿到你的 PR 之后呢，你在新加坡的长久计划会是什么呢？
想在这里创业吧，可能叫老板带我一起创业。
老板听了很高兴。
It is really great having you guys to share with our viewer about your experience. For those of you who are keen to apply for Singapore PR or Singapore citizenship, do arrange a free consultation with us. Take your first step to begin your Singapore immigration journey. Once again, thanks TK and Cedric for the wonderful sharing and all this yummy and delicious food.
我们在此预祝 Cedric 的 PR 申请快快批下来，好愿你的移民美梦成真。And that's all for our video today. Hey, it's been really fun doing outdoor shoots. I hope we get to do more outdoor filming in the future. If you feel that this video is useful, please share it with your friends, hit the like button, and remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss out on our weekly updates. Thank you and see you next week.
Hello, good morning everyone. Thank you for spending your precious Saturday morning with us. We hope that you have enjoyed our YouTube video earlier. So if you would like to watch more, do actually visit our YouTube channel. It's very easy to find us. You just Google the immigration people, or you can just put Kay and Elena's name on it, and then you'll be able to find us. So before we start, I would like to quickly introduce myself. So I'm Kay, the co-founder and director of the Immigration People. So I have Elena with me, my beloved business partner. Elena, would you like to say hi to everyone?
Good morning, everybody. Good to see you guys on a Saturday morning.
Great. So today's topic, it's about everything you need to know about Singapore PR and citizenship application year 2022. So before we start, right, I definitely would like to understand better, okay, about our audience today. So I'm going to launch a poll. So I will appreciate if you guys can actually, let us know what type of passes you're holding in Singapore. So you should be able to see the poll today. You'll be able to see the poll. So we are asking, what pass are you holding in Singapore? So we would like to know more about you, and we will share with you as well, who are the other audience that, we have here with us. So today we have quite a lot of people here. We have more than 100 people register for the webinar. And then the show up rate, it's really good as well. So I'm going to end the poll in a few more seconds. So, yep. And so I'm going to share result with all of you. So as you can see, wow, we have a lot of EP, PEP, and Pass holder here today. So luckily we have, nobody, it's a foreigner or Singaporean. Yeah. So I'm going to pass the show to Elena. So Elena will conduct the session first. Elena, please.
Thank you so much, Kay, for the wonderful introduction. So hi, everybody. I hope you guys have taken your breakfast. So now we're ready to start the webinar. And of course, today we are going to share about how you can and achieve your Singapore PR and citizenship status in this year. So a little bit about our team, the immigration people. You may or may have not heard of us before. So a bit of our background and credentials. We have actually won 2 awards, the best startup in the year 2020 by SME 100 Awards in Singapore, and also the Fast Enterprise Award by Asia Pacific Enterprise Award 2021. So I hope this adds to our list of credentials. And as you can see, this is our wonderful team here. So we may not be very big, but in total we have about 11 of us, but every single one of us have at least 3 years of immigration experience before joining the team. So combined, we have more than 25 years of handling Singapore immigration matters. And to date, we have worked on more than 1,000 PR and citizenship applications combined. So rest assured that your applications will be in good hands, let's say if we are handling your PR and citizenship for you. So maybe we can make a quick guess, before we start the session, before I do all my long talking. Okay, make a guess. You can just type in the chat box below. All right, how many applicants are there per year for PR and citizenship applications? So I can give you guys a hint. There's about 500,000 PR in Singapore and about 1.5 million foreigners working and living in Singapore.
Okay. Elena, we had someone mention that they cannot hear us. So perhaps, some of our other participants can let us know if they can hear us. Probably
Please let us know.
Yeah, probably it's just Prashant. Oh, okay. Others say that they can hear clearly. That's good. So Prashant, you might want to, check your audio. Yeah. So you can, go out and come in again. Yeah. You can use the chat option to talk to us as well and participate in the question that we ask you. Yeah.
Leave us your comments, feedback, or questions in the chat option. And we have Priyanshu who gets 15,000 applications per year. What about the rest? Too shy? Don't worry, there's no penalty for wrong answers. Parthiban 50,000. I feel like I'm doing an auction here. Maybe, okay, I shall not keep you guys in suspense. Let us reveal how many applicants per year. Yeah, so approximately 100,000 PR applicants and 60,000 citizenship applicants applied every year. So Singapore is quite highly sought after considering how small we are. Currently, we have about 5.4 million population, all right, including foreigners. So let us make a guess how many applicants are approved. Okay. Yes, Sumi, there's a lot of competition. What about the rest? Would you like to guess how many people are approved every year by the Singapore government? 10,000. Okay, great, Parthiban, but you can be a little bit more optimistic. Yeah, the government actually approves way more. 20,000. Okay, so there's about 30,000 new PRs granted every year with 22,000 new citizens approved. All right, so actually it's quite a good number. It's not like the government is totally not approving. Okay, so 30,000 is quite a sizable number every year as well, yeah? Okay, maybe we can have a show of hands. How many love Singapore? Yeah, if you tell me you love Malaysia, then maybe you're in the wrong webinar today. All right, so if you love Singapore, please press the raise hand so we can take a look. Okay, great. While the numbers are increasing, good to know that everybody loves Singapore. This is why you're here for today's webinar as well. Okay. How many are sending their children to international school? Yeah, we understand that, you know, as foreigners, it may not be easy to get into a government school, a public school. So you have no choice but to send your kids to international school. Well, so we have quite a handful of people sending their kids to international school. And as you know, one thing in common about international schools is, you know, the price. Yeah, the school fees is extremely costly. This is why Singapore is one of the most expensive cities to live in. It's not just because of our housing, our transport, but our education as well. So on average, we're looking at spending about 35 to 40,000 Sing dollars per annum just to send your kids to school. And we're not even talking about tertiary education. We're just talking about like primary school, elementary school, high school level, and you're already using up 40,000 Sing dollars per year. So it is really difficult, yeah, to send. I mean, it can be quite taxing in terms of the expenses. And because of COVID-19, which we are still battling against today, all right, a lot of expats have also faced issues with their job, you know, pay cuts, job layoffs, and expats who used to draw a very high salary may find themselves having to take a pay cut, you know, because their company or businesses is not doing very well. So yes, you know, be it Singaporeans or foreigners in Singapore, we took a hit because of COVID-19 as well. All right, maybe now we can touch on briefly about what has COVID-19's impact on Singapore's immigration. So first of all, and the most obvious of all, which I believe most of you may have already known, all right, is that the qualifying salaries for work pass holders have increased significantly since 2020. And based on the latest budget speech this year, all right, the S-Pass and EP qualifying salaries will further increase by another $500 starting from 1st September. All right, and furthermore, dependent pass holders are no longer allowed to work. So a lot of dependent pass holders, they are forced to either not work or they have to apply for their own S-Pass or employment pass, which may prove to be a challenge as compared to just holding a LOC. So it's tougher for foreigners to find jobs in Singapore. You know, it's harder to qualify for the minimum work pass as well. But what impact does it have on our PR and citizenship application? So rest assured that at least the good news is that, you know, PR and citizenship quota, there's not much changes. Why? Because Singapore's birth rate continued to decline. So our total fertility rate remains low at 1.1 child per female. And the government has recognized that immigrants are required in order to prevent our population size from shrinking in the long term. If not, we will end up like Japan with an aging workforce, aging population issue. So there's no major changes to our policies for PR and citizenship applications. So currently, the government is balancing out the influx of foreigners who's coming into Singapore and who are the ones getting PR and citizenship approved. So there's a lot of projects, you know, that help foreigners to integrate into Singapore. Sorry. Yeah, and when is the best time to apply for PR and citizenship applications? Actually, is this year 2022. Why? Because Singapore's birth rate has hit an all-time low. And also our population size has fell for the very first time since 1970 in 2021. So this is why the government has to ensure that we retain a good number of influx of foreigners into Singapore so that our population size will not shrink.
Elena, are you okay? Yeah, should I take over?
Yeah, sorry, I'm still recovering from a sore throat. So actually my throat is a little bit scratchy right now. So pardon me for that.
No worries. Yeah, don't worry. I can continue. Yeah. So just now, Elena was saying something very interesting that we are battling COVID-19. So Elena is actually battling COVID-19. So, she is so professional that she still come for a talk, even, in the middle of infection. Yeah. So we have to really give her a hand, right? So actually, right, what Elena wanted to say is actually right now is a good time to apply for Singapore PR. Why? Because up until date, right? Okay, we have more than 200,000, foreigner have left Singapore, and Straits Time, Business Time says that foreign worker will not return to Singapore in the same number as before. So I would say that it is kind of like a good news for you guys because you guys are still living and working here. So ever since in the year of 2009, we have seen that Singapore government actually tightened the immigration law. And as a result, right, every year we have seen increasing number of rejected PR and citizenship application. So Singapore government is actually quite serious about managing the quality of the immigrants that are coming into Singapore. So that's why they make adjustment on the salary. They are not anti-foreigner for sure. Yeah, okay. I'm not PAP, I'm not from PAP, but I know the government, yeah, quite well, I would say. Yeah. So they are not rejecting or anti-foreigner, but they're just trying to control the quality of the people coming into Singapore. So Lee Hsien Loong said many times that immigration remains one of the main policy to really complement our local talent pool. So I would like to back up what I said with statistics. So this is the latest data that published in September last year. So as you can see, when does COVID exactly happened in Singapore? So the first case actually happened, okay, in the year of 2020. The first case arrived in February. So when COVID hits, we have seen foreigners started living, but it is still okay. We have about a slight drop, yeah, from 1.68 to 1.64 million. Okay, so there are people started living, but this year we have seen a lot more people left Singapore and people are still living, you see. So as you can see, the latest population number right now is at 5.45, which is quite a big drop, and it's contributed by the non-residents. So of course, non-residents inclusive of employment pass holder, as pass holder, we have work permit as well. Yeah, and then we have dependent of a citizen, okay, or dependent pass holder, okay, and then we have students as well. So these are the people who made up to these non-residents. And I would like to share one very important point because some of my clients, when they see this graph, they don't feel good because they are seeing that, oh, okay, what happened last year? Why there are much lesser PR and citizenship approval? Is it government is shutting the door? What happened exactly? If you can see, there's a disclaimer down there. So the lower grant figure in year 2020 were due to travel restriction. There were limited slots to complete the final set for PR and citizenship, which has to be done in person. Now, some of you might aware that, Singapore it's like closing down their borders towards India for a very long time. So I do have clients who stuck in their home country and unable to come in, and we helped them to do the IPA extension. So apparently what happened is that if you are seeing this, okay, our number of PR and citizenship has been going on the up slope. Yeah, it's only on the last year, like I mentioned, government did give out PR, but a lot of people are unable to complete the final set. So we are quite hopeful about this year, quota, because like what Elena said, our total fertility rate has dropped to 1.10, and you might be surprised to see Chinese and Indians, okay, fertility rate drop below 1. Below 1 means that one Chinese and one Indian woman not necessarily have one child. So this is something that the government is very concerned. So, government have intention to increase the populations because population going down, it simply doesn't make sense for an economy like us. So I would like to share a bit of data, which is quite interesting. So this is how ICA profile, the number of the profile the people that gets PR and citizenship. Now, out of 27,470, okay, now we have seen the highest number, of course, the younger people, right? Now, you will realize that there's a really interesting contrast here, as we can see, okay? Above 40 years old for citizenship is quite high, but not so much for PR. And the highest for PR is actually the lowest for citizenship. So this is something that, you guys might want to take note. So any one of you who like to apply for citizenship, don't be too worried about your age. It's not really a huge concern. Moreover, majority of the people, they will think about applying for citizenship after being living in Singapore for quite some times. Now, I know that 9.1%, it doesn't look very nice. However, okay, don't forget that, when you apply and if you have children, you're bringing in people to actually take up the quota of 20 years old and below. Yeah, so, if you have a child, if you're above 40 years old, but you have child or children, you still stand a fairly good chance. Yeah, all right. So, majority, of course, post-secondary, and then we have other Asian country of 35.4%. Yeah. So, what are the common mistakes people make when they apply themselves? The first one, people are not aware that ICA is very particular. I have had, my Indian client who gave me a birth cert that doesn't contain his name on it because it was issued by a clinic. And the funny thing that he shared is that, I was just born, my parents haven't thought of a name for me yet. So that's why it was blank, yeah. But it could be anyone's birth cert. Actually, in order to be recognized as proof of birth, it must contain your name, your parents' name, birthplace, and birth date. Any of this information is saying it cannot be used. So ICA has a long list of small little requirements. However, they are unable to put up everything on ICA website. So when people do it themselves, they're actually, not aware of all these small little requirements. Second, minimal or no social integration efforts. So there are a lot of people who have been here for a very long time, but they have yet to demonstrate that they're pretty much integrated to the Singapore society. Now, the reason why Malaysian Chinese like me is very easy to get approval because we are so similar in terms of our culture, language. So it's fairly easy for Malaysian to integrate here. But other than that, other nationality, you really have to put in some effort to prove that you have done your part. Now, the third one is like people are not aware what ICA are looking at, right? Okay, so if you can come to our one-to-one session, we'll be able to share with you more about ICA internal processes. Only by understanding that, then you have an idea what you can do to increase your chances. Right now, fourth is extremely common. I would say as high as probably 80% of the people, when they apply themselves, they make this mistake. They just go up to ICA website and submit according to whatever ICA asks. Passport, birth cert, edu cert, marriage cert. I'm sorry if this is the way you submit, right? To be honest, your profile is not any outstanding, and ICA knows too little about you as well. Yeah, they will not know what have you achieved in your career, because the funny thing is that a lot of clients, when they apply themselves, they never write anything on the 3,500 words in the main form. Yeah, I have clients who put not applicable NA. Yeah, because he said, I never get any awards before, Yeah, actually, right, this is the major mistakes that people make. And then you never put up your resume, there's no cover letter. I see know so little about you. Yeah, so it's not great, right? Now, the next one, sometimes there might be certain policy change that will affect your application. So if you do it yourself, you might have missed out certain steps or certain policy change. Now, the latest policy change, I believe everyone knows. And I think that everyone is vaccinated as well, because if you're not vaccinated, I'm sorry, even after they give you a PR, when they ask for vaccination certificate, if you don't have it, I'm sorry, they're not going to give it to you. Yeah, okay. So what I'm trying to share is that ICA does change policy from time to time. So of course, as a professional, we are very much updated with all the policy change. Now, the next one, a lot of my clients, right, before they even apply the application, they're already expecting a rejection. So you can understand, how well. Yeah, they prepare their profile. Yeah, not good at all. So a lot of presentation are, very sloppy, last minute, they go and flip through and find their birth cert. So it is not right to think that, oh, I'm applying for the first time, I will definitely get a rejection, so it's okay, I just, submit and expecting a rejection. Definitely not true. Oh, I don't have a son, I only have two daughters, I will not get it. Yeah. So what we are trying to say is that try to speak to a professional and not relying on, your friends' opinions. Okay. So this is very important. Now, next one is when you do it yourself, you tend to make error. If you guys came in early, you must have heard one of our video testimonials from my client, whose name is Roy. So Roy did the first application himself and was rejected in 1 month. So, I was very surprised, honestly. Yeah, you cannot get rejected in 1 month, especially if you're applying for the first time. So we suspected that he made mistake in his form. Yeah, I have tons and tons of stories to share if I have a lot of time. I've seen people extremely smart but make mistakes in their forms because they are not familiar with the form. Okay, like example, ICA will be asking for your full employment history, but some client that only put their latest employment in Singapore. So that's a major form filling error. Now, last but not least, no post-submission knowledge. A lot of people after submission, they are not aware that you're supposed to update ICA if you have any profile change. Profile change could be job change, promotion, or increment. So a lot of people thought after submission, they don't have to do anything at all. So these are the common mistakes people make when they apply themselves. And some of you probably have applied on your own. You probably spotted, oh yeah, I made these mistakes, right? So now we have come to the most important slide in the entire presentation. So these are the top factors that will influence the success of your application, be it Singapore PR or Singapore citizenship. Basically, they're going to look at pretty much a very similar set of things. Now, how IC is going to look at this, the word is called holistically. So they will not focus on certain factors. Okay, so let's say, just how I mentioned about age, right? I show you guys the profile of PR, right? After 40 years, so the percentage is not that great. But do you know that the oldest client that we have seen that gotten PR approved is age 80 years old? How is it possible, right? Yes, he's unable to check this box, but the rest of the factors, right, he's quite good at it. So that's how he made up to his profile. Yeah, so if you're unable to check maybe 4, not even 4, then your chance of getting approval is quite low. I'm going to go through it one by one, okay? Of course, I'm going to go through it briefly. If you come down to our consultation, we'll be able to share with you more based on your profile. Because right now, there are too many of you. I don't know everyone's age. I don't know your occupation. I don't know which industry you're in. I'm just going to go through with you pretty quickly. Now, age-wise, prime working age in Singapore is between 25 to 54 years old. So if you're still here, it is fine. Like I mentioned, if you're older, it is fine. But as long as you have to progress in your career, you cannot stagnate. Yeah, so career progression is very important. Okay, so 25 to 54. Yeah. So second is family ties. So normally I will ask client 2 questions for this. The first one is everyone in Singapore? Second question, is everyone applying together? So if your answer is a yes to this both questions, your chances of getting it is there because, IC will like to see a commitment that the entire family living here, staying here and applying together. If you were to exclude your son because of national service, if you're on S-Pass, you're alone here, family are not with you and you're applying yourself, all these are not so great profile. Yeah, okay. Now, next one is industry requirements. So ICA will segregate the quota according to which industry you are in. Now, good industry, of course, those that align with the country directions. And right now, we talk a lot about smart nation, smart city. What else? Clean energy, tech, agriculture, cybersecurity, fintech. There's so many of them. So if you're in this field industry, which means your chance of getting it is quite high, because of larger quotas available. But it doesn't mean that, oh yeah, I'm in this field industry, I can just scribble an application. Because of larger quota, I'm going to give you an example. Maybe you just need to be top 30% within your industry quota, then you get approval. But if you do a very sloppy presentation, you ended up at the bottom percentage, you will still get a rejection. So not so good industry, like example F&B, like Cedric is in F&B industry. It's gonna be quite challenging. Yeah, so you have to probably work harder to squeeze yourself to be the top 5%, yeah, or 3% example, then you get approval. Yeah, so what I'm trying to share is that, the whole team, we have helped a lot of people across different industry to get approval. So speak to us, let us understand more about your profile first. Now, next one is social integration. So we have briefly mentioned about this, it's all about doing some volunteering works. So when you come to a one-to-one session, we'll be able to share with you, how many hours you should be clocking in, how often you should do it, okay? And when you're becoming our client, we will guide you on who to approach, which organization is endorsed by the government, and we'll teach you how you can get proof as well, so that we can actually include all these supporting documents to increase your chances of getting your PR approval. Now, next one, property investment. So just a few months back, right, the government announced that additional buyer stamp duty for foreigner increased to 30%. So it doesn't make sense, right, for you to buy a property now when you're not a PR yet. So if you do not have it, it's fine. You can take a look at other factors. In fact, right, I would say as high as 95% of my approved clients, they do not have any property before they get PR. So it's fine, right? Perhaps you should focus on the next factors, which is very important. Now, insurance is very important. How is it related to PR application? Because today, the moment you turn into a Singapore PR, if anything were to happen to you, government have to subsidize you. So government prefers someone who's well covered because they know that you're not going to be a liability if anything were to happen to you. And I'm sure I'm right to say that, if someone has no intention to stay in Singapore for a long time, they will not buy any insurance. So insurance is one of the best way to tell them that, you have a really, deep intention, strong intention to stay in Singapore for a long time. Now, ICA will give PR to those that think that they will live in Singapore for a long time and potentially applying for a Singapore citizenship. So if you're doing all this, right, it is a really good way to show them that you have a strong intention. So having insurance will help you. So in case of what insurance will help, all insurance will help you in a different way. Like example, if you have a term insurance, okay, if you have a life insurance, you get yourself covered in Singapore for the next 20 to 30 years, right? Although you have just been here for 1 year, but you immediately purchase an insurance, an endowment plan as well, right? That save, 10, 15 years. In terms of how much, a lot of people love to ask, okay, how much I should be doing, this one, please talk to, your insurance advisor who invited you here today. They are in the best position to plan it for you. We are an immigration consultant. We can only tell you from ICA perspective what they would like to see, but how much, what plan, you should actually talk to them, right? In fact, I always encourage clients to do a financial review with your financial advisor, yeah, because more often or not, when we do a consultation with them, we ask them what kind of investment you have. Yeah, I have something, I don't know. Yeah, so they don't know what they invested in. So that's very bad. You have to know what's happening. You have to know, touch wood, if anything were to happen to you, your dependent, how much they will get. So financial review is very important. Now, I'm going to skip two because I want to talk about investment. It's related to insurance, right? So I'm going to go to financial investment first. What ICA do not like is people who earn a lot here, all their money they send back to their home country. In their home country, they have a lot of assets, but nothing in Singapore. That's very bad, right? It's so obvious that you have no intention to stay in Singapore for a long time. So we always encourage clients to invest in Singapore. Some can be short-term investment, some should be long-term investment. Yeah, because you're trying to tell them that you have planned to stay here for a long time. So having endowment plan, SRS account is one of the good suggestions that I give to a lot of my clients. If you'd like to find out more about SRS, also speak with your financial advisor. It is a really good way to show ICA, and in fact, right, we have reliable source from ICA saying that they are looking at people who have SRS account. Now, next one is endorsement. Okay, so endorsement means that it's anyone endorsing you, recommending you. So when you work with the immigration people, we will help you to identify, okay, who will be a good endorser, and let us know these details of, how do you know this person, what's the relationship, and then any project that you guys did together, and then we'll be able to draft a more personalized testimonials for you. We will normally prepare about 3 to 4 letters. How we are different from other company, we are a lot more personalized. Trust me, there are a lot of our competitors out there. What they do is, without even talking to you, they just give you a template, which is not great. Now, next one is talent. Honestly, talent, I don't even have talent. Yeah. How do I describe it? I do have a friend who, got his citizenship fast track. I'm sure that some of you might know him. So he's Law Kian Yu. He's the #1 badminton player in Singapore. So we were both Malaysian. Yeah, I know him for a very long time. So if you have this kind of special talent, like really competitive, right? Then of course, it will help you in your application, right? If you don't have, it's okay. Yeah, don't feel that you're alone. Now, next one is educational level. So I saw a lot of you were holding on to EP. So if you have a tertiary qualification, at least, you will check this box for sure. Yeah, so what we encourage our clients to do is upskill themselves. So if you put in effort to attend training, attend courses which is related to what you do, it will help you to increase your chances, because I see a lot of people who have a good career progression. So if you do all this upskilling, it will help you. Yeah, it will show that you're better than other industry professionals. That's very important, right? Now, next one is achievement. So we will appreciate clients to give us a really detailed resume. Okay, your role and responsibilities should be well captured. Your achievement should be well captured, so that we can write a very nice cover letter, like a summary of your profile. Our cover letter normally about 4 to 5 pages long, very structured, but not template. Structured in the sense that we'll start off with an overview. We're going to talk about your motivation to apply for PR, and then we're going to talk about your family background and educational background, your career highlights, financial viability, and then we're going to talk about your social integration efforts. So it's very structured, but we hate to use template. No template, all right? Now, last but not least, economic contribution. So to be honest, my requirement is 6,000. It might increase though, yeah. Why? Because why 6,000? Okay, because I see it things that, if you're earning 6,000, the government think that if you're earning 6,000, you're able to raise a family here, so they give you a dependent pass. Anything below is not a healthy household income. Yeah, of course, the more the better. So, speak to us. We'll help you to take a look at your profile with all these factors, and then we'll be able to give you some personalized suggestions. Now, after I talk about these factors, right, I believe that, you have an understanding that all these are not true, all these are myth. Singapore government prefers sons over daughter. Definitely not true. Yeah, okay, I have a lot of, clients that got approved. They only have daughters, yeah. So second, you get approved for your PR by luck. You need luck to a certain extent, because you need luck when it comes to quota. Right, but before you get there, right, there's certain proven methodology that we use for all our clients. Yeah, you have to make sure that you've done your form properly, your presentation is there. So you cannot rely 100% on luck, right? Now, next one, and the number 3 and the 4 is pretty much similar. Okay, your salary determines approval. The more taxes you pay, the higher your chances. Actually, it's not true. Remember, like what I mentioned, economic contribution is only one of the factors. It is not a deciding factor. Yeah, okay. So this is definitely not true. So that's why there are people who earn $3,000 gets approval. So why? Why salary? It's the most important thing. No. All right. Now, next one. Funny thing is, like, sometimes I do have clients who, bring the rejection letter, and some company out there as well. Our competitors say rejection letter and analysis of rejection letters. Okay, let me share with you. Rejection letter, it's a template. You cannot analyze a rejection letter, all right? If you want us to actually take a look at your profile, you bring us your past application, we take a look at how you filled the form. So any company who's telling you that, oh, bring your rejection letter, we're going to analyze for you. Have to be very careful, okay? So it doesn't mean that your rejection letter does not mention anything about reapplying after certain year. You do not stand a chance. Like I mentioned, it's just a template. Last but not least, you will definitely get rejection in your first application. No, not true. We have helped a lot more first timers to get approval. In fact, the more times you try, right, the more rejection, the harder it gets. How we help you? Now, to be honest, right, we have true immigration knowledge and experience built over many years in the industry. So, sad to say that the industry is non-regulated. So they are some of our competitors, okay? They don't really have the true immigration knowledge. It was set up by, I've heard before, yeah, it was set up by some, financial advisor. Yeah, they don't really, they have never done immigration before. So be careful, on who you choose, right? Now, second is, we will always offer our clients a complimentary profile evaluation so that we can identify your weakness. So it will take about an hour. So we will talk in depth about your profile. So we will also share with you a list of supporting documents that will maximize your chance of getting approval. We normally have 3 persons actually working on each case: consultant, documents controller, and a professional copywriter, but you only need to talk to 2 persons, right? To ensure communication efficiency and customer service excellence. And like I mentioned, we are highly personalized. We don't believe in using template. And the last one is very important, which, Roy talks about it. Yeah. We actually, care about our clients even after the application was submitted, even after the outcome is out. So we will also help with one-time appeal as well. So we have a YouTube channel. So for those of you who like to find out more about our YouTube channel, please take your phone and scan this and like and subscribe and listen to our video, watch our video. It's actually very informative. Yeah. So that's how we're different. We emphasize a lot on education. So also last year, we published our pricing on the website. So we are not like some company, right? When you earn more, they charge more. We don't like that, okay? So we are very transparent in sharing our knowledge. We are very transparent in pricing as well. And we are very transparent with our processes. So if clients want to sit in, okay, to see how we file the application, you can, okay? So now, like I mentioned, I think I've covered quite a lot of this already, okay? So how are we different, okay? These are some of the events. Right now, we do a lot of online events. We are very proud to say that although we are just a 2.5 years old company, but a lot of big banks working with us, okay, because of our reputation. So we have a full 5-star Google review. All right. So some of the feedback from clients, yeah. We'll share more for the case study later, but this is just to share with you that, we have indeed, quite a good reputation in the industry. So now this is our first case study, okay, Indian citizen working as a technical superintendent, 6 years old son. So because, right, there are a lot of Indian professionals in the same industry as him, so the quota is quite limited. So the challenge that we are facing is how to make his profile stand out from the rest. So they have been actively volunteering, but they did not keep a record. So we refer them to government endorsed organization, and we teach them on how they can, keep a record. And we advise the client to actually have some investment as well. So on the second attempt, 6 months approval. Yeah, all right. Oh, okay. So next, right, I would like to pass to Elena because it's Elena client. Elena, are you okay?
Okay. Yes, so sorry for the truth earlier on. Yes, so for the second case study, right, I would like to share is actually this French client of mine who has been in Singapore for more than 11 years when they first met us. So they were a family of 4. They are earning a household income of almost 40,000. Both the husband and the wife are professionals in their own field. So there's basically no flaw that you can actually find in their profiles, but they've still been rejected twice. So what we did is, of course, we understood that they previously, when they applied on their own, they did not submit any documents to actually showcase their contributions, their achievements and what they have done in Singapore and for the industry. So what we did is, of course, we took the time to analyze their profile, gather all their documents, and presented in a manner that the Singapore government wants to see. So of course, we also guide them to actually have financial stability, long-term commitments here in Singapore, not just keep their money in cash savings or keep their money overseas. All right, so in their very third attempt with us, after staying in Singapore for 12 years, they finally got their PRs approved. And I know that they are also looking at purchasing their own properties and sending their 2 kids to local schools.
All right, great. Now, next one, very interesting. The client originally from India, Indian Muslim family, successful business owner doing steel trading business, has 4 daughters, right? And been living in Singapore for the last 12 years and got PR rejected 7 times. So when he come to me very, very skeptical and he keeps saying, I'm too old, I'm not going to have another child. So if because of my daughters and I don't have a son, I'm going to get approval. I'm not going to try with you. Yeah, so actually, right, there's one common mistake that a lot of business owner does is that when business is good, I pay myself. Business is not good, I'm not paying myself. So that's a very big mistake because when you're holding on to EP, you have to pay yourself a consistent salary. They're gonna see that money deducted from the company account to your personal bank account. There's incoming funds, yeah, and it has to be consistent. Yeah, so what's the solution you propose to him is that we advise him on how he can, bring economic growth as a business owner. So we suggested that you probably can offer internship and job opportunities. Yeah, internship for local student. He also increased his salary, yeah, and pay consistently. Okay, and what happened on the 8th attempt, finally, after 8 months, he got his PR approved. Yeah, so this one is a personal sharing, right? A lot of people are very curious. If you know me, if you go up to our website, my background is that I used to be flying with Singapore Airlines. Yeah, I used to be holding on to employment pass. So now I'm a Singapore PR and I just found my Singapore citizenship about 3 months back, yeah, end of last year. So because I've been telling everyone that, it's a really good time to apply. So I have to walk the talk. So I found my citizenship as well. So, so this is the reason why am I doing this, because I can truly resonate with all of you. Yeah, I know how tough is it being a foreigner. A lot of things are uncertain, right? Until now, running my, a firm with the immigration people, it is all because of the residency status. If you plan to run a business with EP, there are challenges that you are going to face. Now, Elena has her own side of stories. Yeah, Elena?
Sure. So actually for myself, although I'm a born and bred Singaporean, my mom is actually, an immigrant. She's from Malaysia. So growing up, I actually witnessed how her past has changed from a long-term visit pass holder, to a PR and then eventually citizenship. And I actually witnessed, the difficulties she had to go through in terms of the paperwork, the procedures. So this is why, it really resonates with me when I see my clients applying for their application, because it just reminds me of, back then when my mom was trying to get her own status as well. So this is why I can say that our team is really genuine in wanting to help foreigners, because we have experienced the journey ourselves before.
All right. Now, one thing about us is that, honesty, it's the value that we are holding on to very tightly. Yeah. To be honest, we don't work with everyone. There are some clients that come to us, right? We are very upfront with them, telling them the chances is low. So, that's how we're different from the rest, right? So I have client who got his EP for 1 year, only lived in Singapore for 4 days. He consulted 7 firms and everyone is eager to work with him. A lot of people showing him, oh, we have held 9,387 approval last year. Yeah, so a lot of this sort of numbers and they gave my clients. But when they come to me, I told him that, you know what, you should not do it. You will not get it by just clocking in 4 days in 1 year. Come on, ICA, they are the Immigration and Checkpoint Authority. So they know how many days you are here in Singapore. So that's how we are different, okay? A lot of our clients love to ask us, what's your percentage of success? Now I want to tell you, this might be a question in the chat, right? How many percent of tip client got approval? Now, I want to share with you the sad truth about the industry is that it's not feasible to keep track of the success rate. Why? Because today, when I log into your SingPass, okay, I only have one-time access to file the application. And the mail, okay, the letter, the mail, it's only, sent to your home and not our place. So clients have all the rights not to share with us. So to be honest, right, we have, a lot of clients who just gone missing. I myself have been in the industry for 5 years. I have a lot of clients that up until now, I never heard from them, whether they are approved or success. All right. And we have shortest approval 2 months. Okay. Longest approval 2.5 years recently. So because of this, right, it's not really feasible for us to, every month go and ask the client, hey, have you heard back from ICA? So it is not feasible to track. So I would like to, give you guys a type of reminder that if there's any other company out there who keep talking about their success rate, you have to be very careful. So the type of clients that we want to work with are those that are passionate about Singapore, proactive, because you have to put in effort to show that you are the best fit. So I have consulted some client after 1 hour session, and then he said that, okay, I think it's not for me. I've always been thinking that PR is only, putting up the forms and that's all. Now you're asking me to do volunteering work, investment, it's too much. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, we really want to work with people who are really passionate and proactive, right? And then we don't want people who exclude anyone in the application. Honestly, the chance of getting it is very low. Now, I would like to offer, okay, everyone, okay, in this webinar, there are quite a lot of you actually. So we would like to offer you a one-to-one free consultation. So what's going to happen during this 1 hour session? I would say maybe less than 1 hour since we have covered quite a lot today, right? So we're going to talk about your profile evaluation, specifically your profile. And then we're going to share ICA internal selection process. We're going to give you some personalized suggestion on how you may improve your profile, and we're going to talk about your entire journey working with the immigration people. Now I'm going to open the floor for questions. So thank you so much for your time and thanks for listening. So if you have your phone with you and you are eager to book a meeting with our senior consultant, you can actually directly book a time here. Choose either a face-to-face or a Zoom. We're okay with both. Yeah, so you can claim your free consultation here. So let's take a look at some of the questions that we have today.
So I think we have quite a few questions in the chat box, so I'm just going through them. All right, okay. First of all, let me just go through. Okay, first of all, we have Yatin Arora, or Mr. Jatin Arora, asking what's the percentage for shipping industry? Yeah, so actually I've shared that there's what are some of the industries that are in higher demand. So basically they are like in the technology, healthcare, financial services sector. But of course, the good thing about Singapore is that there is a shortage of talents in almost every industry, from logistics to aviation to shipping, marine. So don't worry, all right, let us, scan this QR code, arrange a one-to-one session with us so we know more details about your profile, because shipping industry is still a rather big sector on its own. So we need to understand more about your profile to give you a better advice.
Great. I think we have a next question. Is if I'm in Singapore, but my spouse and children is in Malaysia, would it be better if I apply for myself or you should apply for your whole family? Now, Jeanette, this is a really good question. I don't have an answer now because I have no idea about your profile. There are a lot of factors that will influence the solution that we're going to give it to you, because salary is very important. If let's say, right, you are getting a decent salary, okay, yeah, then we will advise you to apply with your spouse and child, although they are in Malaysia. Now, Malaysian, right, it's a pretty, like a favorite group of people, right? So we have seen people that they apply with their spouse and children, although they are not here. Yeah, they are living in JB. They come in and out sometimes, then they can get approval for the entire family as well. So we also need to see how much salary you are earning, which industry you are in before we can advise you. Should you apply yourself or for the whole family? So Janet, remember to scan this. Yep.
All right, next from Sachin, can foreigners open SRS accounts? Yes, foreigners residing and working in Singapore. So as long as you have a valid work pass like S Pass, EP, you can actually open up an SRS account with any of the local banks, which is UOB, OCBC, or DBS. Or you can actually check with your financial advisor on what is the best way to actually open your SRS account and how to reinvest, your savings in this account.
All right, good. Now, Amar asked a really interesting question. During the PR application, there's no place to input additional documents like insurance. So how ICA knows? Okay, now, actually, right, to be honest, we do not have any special channel to, apply for PR for our clients. However, we know exactly how we can upload all these additional documents. More often or not, we will not upload your insurance policy, but you have to share with us your policy statement. So we have an idea what policy number, policy type, okay, that you have. And then we're going to include in the cover letter. And then we're going to upload the summary of your profile, yeah, which is a cover letter under the financial viability in Singapore. Yeah. All right.
Great. So Suresh says that he needs to leave the meeting soon. Please send me the recording. Rest assured, all of you here today, we will be sending you a recording of this webinar. So let's say if you miss out the first part or you want to just listen to us again, yeah, don't worry, there will be a recording shared to you guys. All right. Next from Dr. Jayesh Parma. So actually,
I think Dr. Jayesh is asking us question to the panelists only. Maybe he's not very comfortable in sharing his profile. Yeah. He's asking about insight of his profile. Doctor, I think you should, arrange a consultation with us. Yeah. We also don't want to tell everyone your profile. So arrange a consultation with us. Let us understand how you filed the application previously, so we can give you some suggestion. Understand that you have applied before and got rejected. So, do reach out to us. You will definitely find the session very useful. Yeah.
For Pratibhan, I think he has a list of questions. All right. So I'm just going to read them out. So number one, what will be the charges for PR applications submitted through TIP? Yeah, so like mentioned earlier by Case, we are very transparent with our pricing. You can go onto our website, www.tip.com.sg, which is, stated over here. So we have a pricing schedule. You can take a look at how much we charge, based on head count for each PR application. But of course, let's say today, if you're invited by a financial advisor, you can also speak to them to understand how to actually secure the special rate, with the immigration people by being a Prudential client. Second question will be, will ICA identify the PR application which are submitted self or which are submitted through agency? Will it impact the application approval chances? So first of all, ICA will not know it's submitted through an agency because, the application will be submitted through your SingPass. So we can only log in to ICA's e-service portal using your SingPass app. All right, so once we're logged in, we will submit the information and upload the documents on your behalf. But of course, if the ICA officers were to look at the supporting documents that we have uploaded, most likely they can tell that it's done professionally and meticulously, but it will not affect your chances because we have already so many clients who got approved, over the past few years. So definitely be it through agency or on your own. What's most important for ICA is that they receive the accurate information, about your profile so that they can consider you fairly and properly against all the other candidates. Next is there anything you would like to charge the client only when the application is approved? So this one you can arrange for a one-to-one consultation with us. We will let you know how our service charges are like and when will it be charged and how is the application process going to be.
Maybe I can add on, Elena. Yeah, because for all our clients, right? Okay, we will put in the same amount of effort. Yeah, and then we do filter our client before we take in the case. If we do not have certain level of confidence, normally we will be very upfront with the client. So it's just like any other professional services, like a doctor or a lawyer, okay? You're not paying the doctor, okay, after I recover, then I pay you money. Yeah, there's no such thing, right? So it's the same for us as well. So you're paying for professional services, so there is no such thing as, you pay us only after the application is approved. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah.
I think like that our firm won't be here anymore. We collect the fees 2 years later. Yeah. Okay, the next question will be on investment. Is there any minimum amount needed to be invested in Singapore? This one really is on a case-by-case basis because we understand that everyone earns differently and have different level of commitments. There is no fixed number on how much you need to invest, and the government does not judge your application just by the amount on investment. This is why it's very important to talk to us, because after understanding your profile, your earning, your commitments, then we will be able to give a better gauge and a better idea. But of course, also speak to your financial advisor, because they are the financial experts. We are handling the immigration side of things. Okay, so again, there is no one amount that everybody should be looking at, because it really depends on your circumstances. Last question by Patiban. I already hold an SRS account. What should be the minimum I should have invested in SRS? I think this answer will be similar to what I answered for question 4. So again, there is no fixed rule, okay, when it comes to amount of investment. It really depends on, whether you have other savings, other commitments, other kind of assets or investments already in Singapore. All right. Janet asks, how much should I be earning so I can apply for my family, Kate?
Okay, actually, right, like I mentioned, it will be best if you can earn $6,000, because you see the government thinks that if you earn $6,000, then you can get a dependent pass, right? So anything below is the government will, be quite skeptical about how you can afford to raise your family here, given the cost of living in Singapore is quite high. So, Janet, I hope that answer your questions. Yeah.
So I think Priyanshu have problems trying to access the link. So
I think that we tried. It works. Yeah. Would you like to scan? Because if you scan, right, you can book the free consultation directly through our calendar system. If not, you can just visit our website at www.tip.com.sg. Yeah. All right. So we already share our website link. Now, Amar asked a very important question. Are you recognized and approved agency by ICA to carry out this consultation? No one is recognized by ICA. Yeah, ICA, we are not affiliated with ICA. We are not recognized or approved, because ICA do not recognize and approve. Okay. I mean, how should I say it, Elena? It's like
I would say even law firms, any agencies or consultation firms, right, they are not affiliated with ICA. So you can go for consultations, all right, but of course, exercise your due diligence on the firm, which is why we emphasize a lot about our credentials, doing our own homework, Google, check out the firm's reviews first before you engage. ICAs, they do not ban anyone from approaching agencies of professional help for their applications. This is for sure. But at the same time, I say always advise applicants to exercise due diligence and discretion, to make sure that you do your own homework first before you really engage a consultancy firm.
They have been saying that, be careful with firms who claim of high success rate. Recently, one of our competitors, they are all over CNA, news. Not really news, but there is an article, that they claim of 99% success rate. So like I mentioned earlier, exercise, do your due diligence, be careful when you choose a partner that you want to work with. Yeah. So, that's all. I think Ken saying that, because he has no living history in Singapore, he wants to move to Singapore in year 2023. So education agency. Okay, we do we have a partner which is education agency. Yeah, so we can actually help you. Yeah, so you can talk to Jocelyn again, so we can connect you with our partners, and then they can help to, they can help out with the choosing of the school and helping you to do placement as well. So now we have some question in Q&A. Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay, now, sorry, there's someone who asked the same question which I have answered earlier. There's no option to upload there. Actually, right, there are ways that we can upload all the additional documents. So, and for us, we are very transparent with our processes. So our client can sit in to watch the whole submission process. So there are ways to upload, all right? So Sachin said, EP, yeah, he's on EP, but father is on long-term visit pass. Can include him in the PR applications? No, I'm sorry. You cannot include your father in the PR application. It's only for your spouse and your unmarried child below 21 years old. Yeah, for father, after you become a Singapore PR, you need to apply for long-term visit pass. The long-term visit pass will be through ICA. But if you convert yourself to a Singaporean, and then you can sponsor your parents to apply for Singapore PR. Yeah, and maybe later on citizenship as well. But you have to be a Singaporean first. Okay. Oh, Sachin said there's no face-to-face appointment on Saturday and Sunday. Oh, Sachin, why don't you leave your contact on the chat? Okay, I will ask our consultant to arrange a Saturday appointment with you. We Saturday appointment is on appointment basis. So I'm not sure if Sachin, you can leave the contact. Yeah, you can leave to just the host and panelists. Yeah. Oh, don't want. Okay, it's okay. Then you can go to www.tip.com.sg. Yeah, put your details there. We'll contact you, and then you can tell them that you want a Saturday. Yeah, appointment. Okay, sure. Yeah, thank you so much. We have come to the end of the session. So we hope that you have enjoyed. I hope that you guys find the session useful. So that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Yeah, remember to contact us if you want a one-to-one consultation or if you want to be contacted by our immigration consultants. All right. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.